Hey guys, welcome back to Vegan Schmegan Blog. My name is Melissa and I share with you my vegan recipes and how I live my vegan life. So with all the craziness happening with the coronavirus, I wanted to show you guys some simple meals that you can make with things that you probably already have in your pantry. Today I'm going to make a really easy ramen, but it's going to be elevated with a creamy cashew broth, and we're going to create a lot of delicious flavors in there with some seasonings and even a little bit of the ramen flavor. I'm going to be using this top ramen, the soy sauce flavor, and this is actually vegan. I highly recommend those for cheap pantry staples because they're usually like 25, 35 cents, somewhere in there, and they last forever and they can make a really delicious filling meal for you. If you have not yet, please subscribe down below and go ahead and give this video a like if you're excited to learn how to make this awesome vegan ramen. Alright, without further ado, let's get to the recipe. So I have all the ingredients gathered that we're going to use. We might not use some of them, but what we're going to start using for our ramen. So we're thinking of doing like a cashew broth based ramen, so it has a little bit of body and extra flavor to it. So I have 2 packs of this top ramen. The soy sauce flavor is vegan. I'm not sure if we're going to use the flavor packet yet, but you could if you did get these ones. And then I just have this bag of frozen broccoli stir fry mix. And then I have an onion here. And then for my seasonings and things that are gonna go in the sauce, I have tahini and cashews. And then I just pulled out some stuff that we might try throwing in there, like vinegar, some nooch for like an umami flavor, salt, onion powder, garlic powder, chili flakes, and then I have some olive oil, which I'm thinking to use as the oil to give it a little bit of extra body and flavor. So let's get to cooking and I'll show you guys what I come up with. So to make the broth, I'm going to start off by putting some cashews in a high-speed blender. And all the measurements that I use will be in the blog post that I write for this. And then to that, I'm just going to add in water.
Oh, there he is.
Babe. And I'm just going to add some rice. Babe, you can't laugh.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to add some rice vinegar. I'm going to be adding some nutritional yeast or nooch for that umami flavor into this. I don't want it to be cheesy, so I'm not adding a lot, but I just want it to give a little bit of depth to the recipe. We'll add in some onion powder. Some garlic powder. Almost out of garlic powder. We'll add in some red pepper flakes for some heat. I won't add too much since Eric's a little bee. And then I'm going to add a little bit of oil for richness, just a touch. This actually smells really good. And then, am I missing anything? I'm going to wait to add salt until we taste it, since I do have that seasoning packet in here and those are really salty. And then we'll add in some tahini. This one's really runny, so you can just pour it in. But we'll probably do like a tablespoon or so. That might have been more like a teaspoon. Okay, I'm going to blend this up and then I'll give it a taste test and then let you guys know if I add anything else. Okay, everything's blended up nicely, so we're gonna go ahead and give it a taste test. It's like thick and frothy. That's actually pretty good. I'm gonna add some soy sauce and maybe a touch more vinegar, and then we'll see what it tastes like there. Okay, so the broth came out delicious. It's good now, so we're gonna move on to preparing the rest of the soup now. All right, I have an onion here. I'm gonna dice up about half of this and then we'll let it saute in the pan before we add the broth and the rest of the ingredients. Before we do the broth, we need to add our vegetables, so I'm gonna add those in now. I'm probably just gonna add like a cup and a half or so of these frozen veggies. So about this much, and we'll let this saute off, and then we'll add in our broth and noodles. So the vegetables have sauteed that water off and cooked down. I'm gonna add in all the broth now. And then once that comes back up to a full simmer, we will add in our noodles.
Wow.
All right, we're back up to a simmer, so I'm gonna go ahead and add just the noodles in from the rest of these. There is a little bit of like crumbs of ramen noodles if you will at the bottom, and save those because we'll sprinkle them on top at the end for a nice little crunch. So there's 1 and 2. And then ramen noodle, or these instant ramen noodles cook really fast within like 3 to 5 minutes. So we'll just keep an eye on those and make sure that they don't overcook, and then I'll show you guys the final product. Guys, so we have made a fancy version of cheap ramen, but really elevated it to give you a delicious dish that you can make out of things that you probably already have in your pantry and your freezer. This ramen came out incredibly creamy, super savory, and it has a ton of flavor packed in there. There's lots of umami and savory flavors from the soy and nutritional yeast, and then the cashew brings in that really awesome creaminess to give the dish a really well-rounded taste. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it out for you guys now. That is so good. The flavor that gets developed with all those spices in there, it's really complex and delicious, and it was made out of just some simple spices and the top ramen seasoning and cashews. Like, it really can't get a lot easier, especially for things that you probably already have in your pantry. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it and you want to try this recipe, go ahead and give me a like down below, and then go ahead and make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any of my future videos. I share my vegan recipes on Thursdays at 3 p.m. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!